problems. So in the previous session we have seen about how to get the beam solid angle or beam width. Generally beam width, and more specifically it is calculated for half power beam width and beam width between first nulls from the figure. So based on that, let us solve a few problems. They are very simple. First problem, an antenna has a field pattern of E of theta. You can just see here, it is dependent on theta. E of theta, the field is given by cos square of theta. And it is the theta range, it is given as 0 to 90 degrees. Okay. We have to find HPBW, half power beam width, we have to calculate. Now let us start with the solution. As earlier I have in this earlier section I have told you half power no doubt indicates the maximum power gets reduced to half. However, when we check the voltage levels, it will be that is a 3 dB roll off, that is 0.707, 1 by root 2. That's why it is here not taken as 1 by 2, 0.5. Instead, it is taken as 0.707. Remember this. Okay. So, it means 0.707 is equal to cos square. Why we are equating it to 0.707? Because we want half power beam width. Okay. So, 0.707 is equal to cos square theta. So what will be cos? Square root of 0.707. You just calculate what value you guessed, put that. You can just, if you have the calculators, please do that. I'll wait. You answer me, what answer you get, theta. I have put it blank. Whatever blank you tell me, I'll fill it. Cos inverse of square root of
32.77.
32.77. Approximately, can I take it 33?
Yes.
Yeah, 33. Okay, 33 degrees. So this is equal to theta actually. But if you see below, I have written HPBW is 2 theta. Can anybody tell me why I have taken 2 theta? Just refer the side figure and tell me.
We have calculated only theta once.
Yeah, that's what. It is distributed symmetrically both sides, right? So, theta indicates only half part. Remaining half also should be calculated, and obviously when you are considering a main lobe, it is distributed symmetrically on both sides, vertically symmetric. So if one is 33 degrees, the other one will also be 33. That's why it is 2 times theta, it will become 66. HPBW will be 66. I hope you understood this. Very simple. We'll move to one next problem. An antenna has a field pattern given by E of theta is equal to cos theta into cos 2 theta. Some pattern they have given here, field, and the theta range is again given 0 to 90 degrees. We have to calculate half power beam width and beam width between first nulls. So again to start with, given this cos theta into cos 2 theta, I have equated it to 1 by root 2, that is half power, 0.707. So what I can do here, see, instead of going for this, I will keep this here outside and cos theta will take it to the denominator, and 2 theta will be cos inverse of 1 by root 2 cos theta, and theta is 1 by 2 cos inverse of this much. Now further, if you just see, we have got 2 terms, theta and theta repeated. Just to differentiate it, what I have done, theta, this unknown value, keep it as it is. This I have taken as theta dash. And this is one iterative method used, that is trial and error we use. We start with some value. We assume initially theta dash as, say we start with 0 degrees. Substitute theta as a 0. You calculate, substitute theta dash as a 0 degrees and calculate what you will get theta. Okay, use the calculator and see whether I have got the correct answers or not. Half of cos inverse of 1 by root 2 cos 0 is 1. So 1 by 2 cos inverse of 1 by root 2. What value you get? C.
$22.5.
22.5 you get. Okay, this is right. Next time, in the next iteration, I will consider this as theta. Initially, I started with 0, I got this. Next time, I will take this answer what I have got in the previous iteration, that I will substitute, consider theta dash. Now you check half of cos inverse of 1 by root 2 cos of 22.5. What answer you get?
$20.03.
20.03. So I have got it right. I have written it here. Now in the next iteration, what I can do, whatever answer I have got in the previous iteration, I will put that as theta dash and try to calculate theta. Check this. Half cos inverse 1 by root 2 cos 20.03.
$20.59.
20.5 some approximately. I have written it here. I have stopped here only. Why? There is a reason behind it. If you just compare both, there is a lot of difference, so I continue the next iteration. 22 and 20, again there is a difference, so I continued with the third time iteration, third step. 20 and somewhat nearest values I got, both theta dash and theta, so I will stop it here. So this itself will be my theta. If I would have got, instead of say 20.5, if I would have got some say 23 or so, I would have continued one more time and I would have checked till I got some similar values, somewhat nearer values. Till you get that nearer value, you should continue the iterations, and once you get almost the same values, similar, 20, they are similar, so you can stop the iteration that time, and this whatever answer you get for that final iteration will be your theta value. Remember, again, vertically symmetric, I have got only this part, that is 20.5 indicates only half part. So what will be HPBW? It is twice the theta. I have to take it on the other side also. Then only the complete beam will be covered. Hence, it is 2 theta, 20.5 plus 20.5, you will get 41 degrees. Understood? Then coming to the second part, if you see, check the question has two parts. One is HPBW, the other one is BWFN. Remember, whenever we go for calculation of nulls, null points, have you heard this word null points anywhere in physics? Yes,
ma'am.
Yeah, anywhere you have studied this?
Electromagnetic.
In electromagnetics only? Okay, can you just remind me where you have studied? As far as I know, nullified, do you know that this, what does this mean? Nullifying the result. You might have heard this word many times. When you probably studied interference or probably in vectors or in mathematics, when you take say some plus 5, when you just add minus 5 to it, it will nullify the result. Plus 5 minus 5, you will get 0. Nullifying means cancelling, oppositely cancelling each other. That is called nullifying. That's why if you observe here, in order to calculate HPBW, we equate it to 0.707. But to calculate BWFN, we equate it to 0. 0 means nullifying the result, cancelling the effect. So it is nothing but equivalent to 0. That's why equate your given field E to 0. What you will get? Can anybody guess? Don't look at the screen. Just guess it. Don't look at the screen. For what value of theta you will get this equation satisfied? If I take theta is equal to say 90 degrees, what will happen? Cos 90 is 0?
1.
No, cos 90 is 0. It is 90, right? Cos 90.
Yes,
Yeah, it is 0. That is possible, but we should start with the minimal value. Okay, no doubt here putting theta is equal to 90 will give us the result, but we have 2 theta also here. So can we take some minimum angle? Theta, again prior to 90 degrees.
45.
45. Yeah, 45 only, because 2 times theta.
Yes.
So 45 into 2 you will get 90. Anyhow, whatever may be other value, if you take 0 into any value, you will get 0. So with that trial basis, no doubt you could have taken 90 degrees, but to start with the minimal value, we started with 45 degrees. So with the, just by observing, we can say that for theta equals to 45 degrees, you will get this equation gets satisfied. So theta is 45. 1/2 is 45. What about the remaining half? 45 plus 45, it is 90 degrees. So in this problem, we have calculated both HPBW and BWFN. Half power beam width we have calculated by equating to 0.707, and BWFN we have calculated by equating to 0. So I hope you have understood this problem. Another 1 or 2 problems will complete. Yeah. Find the number of square degrees in solid angle on a spherical surface which is between 20 and 40, and theta range they have given 30 and 70. This problem I have visualized here. You can see this is somewhat like this spherical, spherical coordinate system. Just now what we have seen earlier in figure, something like this. Okay, in that one particular strip we have taken in the spherical coordinate system, this line. I hope you understood this. In that there are 2 aspects. One is a theta, the other one is phi. So in spherical coordinate system, when you draw a sphere like this, cross sectional, this angle represents phi. That's why if you observe, whatever phi range they have given, 30 and 70, I have mentioned it here below. And this angle represents theta, hence whatever theta value they have given, 20 and 40, I have mentioned it here. Okay. This is a purely mathematical problem. Okay, just every data is given to you, you should be good in integration. That's it. See, we know that omega is your beam angle or beam width, but in order to calculate this beam width, how we have started? We took a small patch for BA, and always this B of something represents a smaller incremental value. If you integrate this, you will get the whole value. This concept we have been applying even in electromagnetics also. We take a small part, apply certain things, certain concept on that, we extend it to the complete by integrating. That's what we can do it here also. Surface integral of this small part d omega will give you the complete beam area. Okay. So this double integration indicates surface integral. Why I have taken this? Because d omega in the previous section you have seen, it is equal to sine theta d theta d phi. And out of double integral, the inside value indicates theta, the exterior integral indicates phi. Hence, this is inside and this is outside. So theta range 20 to 40, 30 to 70. Now, see, we have two variables, theta and phi. Here also theta and phi. So you can integrate it separately, no problem. No doubt you have here multiplication, okay? So integration of this with d phi. It's a separate entity. So what is the integration of dt? It is t. So integration of d phi will be phi over the range 30 and 70. Apply the limits, 70 minus 30, you will get 40. Then, what is the integration of sine theta? It is minus cos theta. That I have applied with the limits 40 and 20. Now I have put it here blank. Whatever answer you get, you write it here. I don't have the calculator. Minus cos of 40 degrees plus cos 20 degrees. Whatever answer you get, you put that.
Minus 1.7.
Not minus, you will get plus.
There is minus cos theta, ma'am.
In the formula, it is minus. You tell me whether it is minus or plus. I don't know. Simply I have written. I don't remember. I'm bad at trigonometry when I compare to you all, because you people are still studying. I have lost studying that part. You tell me, what is the integration of sine theta plus cos theta?
Minus cos theta.
Negative. It should be positive. Check it.
0.17.
0.17, ma'am.
Plus
0.17.
0.17. Then you consider only cos theta or minus cos theta?
Minus cos theta.
Okay. So you check with your calculations. Okay. Minaz, you check it. Cos of minus cos, when you apply the limits, you will get something like this. If you observe on the screen, I have multiplied it with pi by 180. Why is it so?
Radian to degree.
To convert a radian into degree, ma'am.
To degree.
Radian to degree or a degree to radians?
Degree to radian.
Degree to radian, because already all these are in degrees.
Yes.
Right? So I have to convert it to radian. So I have done that. Then finally you can keep this much also, no issues. Just for your practice purpose, what I have done again, I have again converted your final answer to square degrees. No need to do this. But if you should be perfect in numbers, what are those values you should remember. So once if you start writing this again and again, you will remember. So I thought of converting again to square degrees. So this is the third problem. Let's move to the final problem one more. An antenna has a field pattern. It is similar to the earlier. If you remember here, I think, yeah. Here we have solved it. Cos square theta 0 to 90 degrees. Find HPBW. First problem which we have solved. What answer we got? Some 66 degrees we got, I guess. First problem. Yes, 66 degrees. Yeah, I have solved it here again one more time. You will get 66 degrees. So it is the same. We need to find the beam area. I am not talking about half power beam width and all. I am talking about the beam area overall. Beam solid angle omega A. Okay. In theoretical background, you have seen that omega A, that is beam width, it is given by Pn of d omega. Shall I just show you? I will just recall it. Somewhere here. Omega A is equal to surface integral power sin theta d theta d phi, which is d omega. This we have seen it already. Based on that, we'll make use of that formula is equal to power and d omega. Instead, in the given question, we don't have power term. We have field term. You might be knowing what is the relationship between power and the electric field strength. It is the square, if you remember. Is it? Try to just, try to glance it. P is equal to VI or P is equal to V square by R. And V is related to field like this, E by L. So E square by L into R. So P is directly proportional to E square. That's why when the field is given to you, but the formula has power, so we can take E square because they are proportional like this. They are related like this. P is directly proportional to E square. So as it is given, I have taken it, and inside already they have given you the this theta range, that is 0 to 90 degrees, and as one more is not given to you, take it in general 0 to 2 pi, and field is given to you cos square. Hence, E square term is there. I have squared it. It will become cos raised to 4. Remaining all sin theta d theta d phi d omega as it is. Now further simple using your calculus, you do it. That is, substitute cos theta is equal to x. If you substitute cos theta equals to x, minus sin theta d theta will be equal to dx. And as theta value limits are different, your x limits will also change. If theta is 0, x will be equal to cos 0, 1. And if theta is 90 degrees, cos 90 is 0, x is equal to 0. So your limits will now change from 0 to pi by 2 were the earlier limits. Now they are 1 to 0. So what I have done, two integrations are there. One separately I have calculated because two different variables are there. 0 to 2 pi d phi. Then this is one integration. One more, the limits I have changed. Negative sign will come, minus dx, that I have put it, and x is cos theta. So x raised to 4. And when you simplify the first integration, it is 2 pi, minus 2 pi. Why minus? This negative sign I have taken it here, outside. So this integration is x raised to 4 integration is x raised to 5 by 5. And applying the limits, you will get one more negative sign. Both negative signs will go 2 pi by 5. 2 pi by 5, if you calculate, I think you will get 1.26. It is in square degrees. Okay, because everything here, it is given in degrees. Now, below, if you check, I have done this one more time. Till this, we have already calculated in the first problem. right? 66 degrees we got. Okay, so when your half power beam width you got it as 66 degrees, there is a relationship between half power beam width and your solid angle. It is approximately equal to whatever theta half power beam width is there, whatever phi angle half power beam width is there, both should be multiplied. If you multiply both, you will get the solid angle. So this is the relationship, important relationship between solid angle and the half power beam widths. So just now in the first problem also we have got it 33 into 30, 33 plus 33, 66 degrees we have got as half power beam width. So 66 into 66 we will get 4356 square degrees. Again you can keep the answer as it is, or you can simply again convert it to steradians. Pi by 180 whole square if you multiply, you will get in steradians, 1.32 steradians. This need not be necessary. If you keep this much, it is enough, no problem. So I hope you understood today's problems as well. Hopefully with the slippery mind you have attended today's class. Hope you are attentive still.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
so we have completed how many antenna parameters, can you list? We started 3. We started with first one, power density,
Power density,
second one, patterns, third one,
beam
Area.
in area. Okay, so in the next class we will be taking the next parameters. We will try to cover few more parameters. We will start with radiation intensity. Okay, so I hope you understood today's class. So we will continue in the next class.